it's all about having those conversations, and you two are always so supportive of me and did not think anything of it when I brought up that conversation. And it just shows that those are like true friends, and I shouldn't have been nervous to bring it up to you guys. But I think it is the people pleaser in me and just wanting to say yes, and I can do it. And I even told Mitch, like, Mitch, I can do it. And he was just like, but are you sacrificing everything else to do it?
You can please some of the people all of the time.
You can please all of the people some of the time.
But you can't please all of the people all of the time. Welcome to the People Pleasers Podcast.
Hello. Welcome back, our fellow people pleasers. Happy Thursday.
Yay.
Thursday.
How's everyone?
I was going to say Thursday fun day, and I was like, that's not cute.
Not quite.
And
Close.
nothing really rhymes with Thursday.
Thursday.
Yours
thinking
Day.
Jersey Shore.
Thursday, yours day. No, I don't know what
Yours
that means.
day.
It's yours day, baby.
Yours day. Do with it what you will.
Because you matter.
Because you matter. In case you needed a reminder.
So cute. I love it.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
How's everyone?
I was going to say, how was everybody's weekend? Everybody had a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all had weddings.
Is this our first time where we've all had,
3 episodes in?
3 episodes in. First time we've ever all had a wedding.
In the same weekend, yeah.
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 That's going to be
For
a
a while.
common theme for
I know.
the next few months.
We're excited.
It's okay. We're
Excited.
going to survive.
It's good.
We'll get through it.
We will.
Dom and I had a wedding together.
I know. Yay.
Our first wedding together since 2022.
Yeah. No.
No, we had a wedding together.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I was mainly meaning just
because-
me and Dom.
But also Mitch.
Me.
Mitch wasn't
Okay,
at Haley's
okay, yeah, yeah.
wedding.
See,
So
it was on
this
to
was
something.
our.
I was
Yeah, yeah,
on to
yeah. No, you're
something.
not wrong.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. First wedding with 3 of you guys.
First wedding, the 3,
Yeah.
me and Mitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, without Sarah.
But
Since
you know what was so
2022.
cool was our bride's name was Sarah, and so the whole time we were like Sarah,
I was there in
and then
spirit.
Grace started saying like, "Hey Sarah," and I was like, oh.
I know, because
I know.
Dom mentioned it. We were like, we had like a short little break, and she was like, "It's kind of confusing me that her name's Sarah," and I was like,
Yeah.
"I know." I found myself starting to say Sarah, and it made me.
Cute.
I was like, it makes me sad and it makes me happy because I wish Sarah was here.
I
But then Dom was
know.
like, "It's like she's here because they're saying
Yeah.
Sarah."
It was
Aw,
sweet.
I didn't know that.
I know.
Cute.
So you were there with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was.
You were.
I was. I was
Spirit.
thinking of you guys.
And
Yeah.
same name.
You can't get away from me.
No,
Never.
never.
Sorry.
No matter how hard we try.
Nope.
Stuck together.
Bonded for life.
Just the way you moved your teeth.
It's almost spooky season. Ooh. Just getting ready.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready for
I
the
know.
fall weather.
I know. This weekend.
Yeah.
Felt like fall.
Gave us a glimpse.
It was a high of like 77.
It was absolutely perfect. out.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And now it's like 80 degrees again.
And that's okay. We can deal.
I know. I'm just ready for it to
but at
stay
least
consistent.
the mornings and the evenings are super nice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So.
this whole all of Saturday, we were outside a lot. They had an
Yeah.
outdoor ceremony. So beautiful.
It was, literally.
It was the first time I stood in the sun for longer than 10 minutes and I didn't feel the back sweat just like dripping and like still had to reapply deodorant several times. That's normal.
Normal.
But I didn't just
And
like
still
feel
smell.
the
Yes.
sweat. And so you're just
Not that
masking,
it helps, but
nope. A spray every 10 minutes. Every time I have my camera up here, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
Let me take it down a little bit.
Don't get close to me. So sorry if you smell my armpits. Also,
didn't
happy
smell.
wedding day.
I hugged you the whole time.
Okay,
the
good.
entire
Yeah,
day.
you were
didn't
next to
smell.
me.
You're
Would you
good.
tell me the truth if I did?
I would tell you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate
would.
that.
yeah, in the moment, hopefully.
By the way, go
Maybe-
reapply.
In the moment, if it was bad, I would let you know. If
Yeah.
it was a little bad, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to stress her out. I'm not going to say anything.
No, then you'd be like, I think I need to go put on deodorant.
I-
And I'll be like, yeah, me too.
There we go.
There we go.
We got it.
That's how I know. It was good though.
Yeah.
It was really, really pretty. It was fun to work together again.
It was.
It
It
was-
was nice.
At the end of the day, walking back to our cars, I think you, me, and Mitch all were like, it just felt easier.
I feel like, and I told you guys recently, I feel like I was like a little bit in a creative rut. And I don't know, I know it's not like the editing side, but just something about being there with you just like helped me kind of find my spark again, especially for like fall season, going into like busy season. So I was like, okay, wait, like I can do this. Like, so yeah, it was what I needed. Excuse me. It was what I needed. And
I think so too. I think getting out of our heads a little bit, because we've talked about this a lot, I feel like August is such a creative time because it's in between seasons that it's kind of like, it's summer, but it could be fall. I know we were in September this weekend, but it's being with your friends, like just talking to you guys, but also on an actual wedding day, like when you're maybe not feeling your best creatively, but having you with me and Mitch, where I'm like, I'm safe, I have safe people. And not that I've had an experience where that's not the case. It's just the added friendship.
Exactly.
It's just so much easier of like, can you guys do this? Or are you okay? Like, I just feel so much more at ease.
I felt the same way.
And it makes all the difference. In a long day.
I know. Yeah.
In a long day, it makes all the
long,
difference.
busy
Because when
day.
you're meeting people for the first time working together as a team, it's hard because you don't know how other people work. You don't know some things you might say that they may take differently or different styles. Not feeling like you're going to step on toes, especially when you're leading the day.
Yeah.
So when it's you and Mitch, I'm just like,
I know. We feel the same way. Mitch and I raved about it all yesterday when we were like debriefing everything. We're like, oh, we need more weddings with Grace. So many great photographers out there. So many great planners. But yeah, there's just something when you're like neck and neck with that person all day long.
Yeah.
Through every moment. And it's just like, okay. Yeah.
well, and just being able to walk up to you and just be like, hey,
yeah.
this, hey, that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
Yeah. And I wouldn't think of you taking something wrong if I said something, or you wouldn't take something, just the way we like bounce off each other.
You're not overthinking.
It's great.
Yes.
You guys just being yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to be more creative because you have that space to
Exactly.
be more creative.
Yes.
Yes.
You know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
It
totally
was
get
really it was really fun. It was good. I was telling you though, I tried to explain this. I say this and I'm like, okay, I understand how it sounds. After wedding days, we say we have a wedding day hangover. We have a wedding vendor hangover. It's not the fun hangover. Not that any hangover is fun. It's not the guest hangover. It is the wedding vendor hangover. I had the hardest wedding day hangover I've ever had after a wedding day. And I don't know why. I've had several weddings. I don't know why, but it hit me hard.
I was thinking for you too, because you had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 wedding weekends in a row, and then you had 1 weekend off, and then you just got back into it.
Yeah.
Your body was probably like
Ooh.
so used to it, and then like back and forth, and so probably just getting back into it, you know?
Yeah.
It's probably a lot. But
Gotta do some more yoga. Gotta stretch more.
more yoga.
That leads me into my wedding day.
Yeah,
actually.
how
was
hear about
yours?
it.
Well, I'll tell you about it first, and then I'll tell you my funny story that has to do with that stretching.
I'm interested. I'm interested.
My wedding was so great. It was one of those weddings that like makes you remember why you're in the wedding industry and why you want to be a part of these special days. So just like the sweetest moments throughout the day, like the family dynamic was just so special. The mother-daughter relationship. So
Remind you of you and your
sweet.
mom, Sharon.
Yes, it really. Yeah, hi mom again. Sharon gets a shout out every episode.
Yes.
She's our number one fan. She does. She deserves that.
Yes. The bride, she ended up surprising her mom at the bouquet toss. And it was really funny too, because we were going over the timeline in our final meeting, and her mom was like, bouquet toss? You don't have a lot of single friends, do you? And we were just like, yeah, we do.
Just for fun.
We looked at each other. She was like, well, we have somebody in mind that we really want to give it to, like one of our friends. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. Brushed it off. But we were like, looked at each other. We're like, is she onto it? No. Okay, great. We're good. Bride wrote a really sweet, I can call her Kylie. Kylie wrote a really, really sweet message for Paula and read it out loud to everybody during the bouquet toss time, and gave her bouquet, and just kind of talked about how the mother of the bride doesn't really get a lot of recognition on wedding days.
Not yours. I've seen that before.
Well, you didn't see mine? It was
I
on my
wasn't
story.
there. Oh,
Check it out.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I saw it.
Really?
No, yeah.
Oh. I took a whole video of the full thing that I'm going to send to her, but oh my gosh.
sweet.
It was, I was literally tears down my face.
Wow.
It was so sweet. So, and obviously the couple too, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. The couple was just really sweet as well, but it was just.
But just
again,
when
just
you
a lot
see
of
something
love.
different, and just
Yeah.
like, it's just like,
And
oh
so
my gosh,
intentional
what?
like that
Yes.
too,
Right.
of wanting to give her mom. Because honestly, when you think about mother of the bride on the wedding day, they don't get a dance. They don't get to walk down the aisle. They don't get to do, you get to maybe zip her up.
Yeah.
But you don't get I don't know, you don't get a lot of recognition.
Right.
And you deserve more of that.
And she's also like been a part of pretty much every planning meeting with us too. So she's been a part of the process leading up to the day as
That's
well.
really
So
sweet.
same with her dad though. Like again, just the family dynamics were just so strong. So it was really fun to just be a part of. And Paula, mother of the bride, cried when I was leaving. And she was like,
Isn't
but I'll
that
listen to your podcast. I can hear you every week. I was like, Paula, yes, please.
Shout out Paula.
Yes, shout out Paula. Please listen. So yeah, it was really sweet. But
So sweet.
funny story. So during the ceremony, I've been trying to elevate my legs more.
I have a picture in my head.
Yes.
I know, right?
So I
Where is
did
this going?
So I did it before. I did it the night before, the morning of, and then I do it when I get back. So I just like lay on my back, like with my legs parallel with the wall, for 10 minutes to just get like that blood flow because my feet hurt so bad.
And
after
you
wedding.
even
Well,
change
yeah,
shoes.
don't you
Yeah.
wear?
But
do
you
start
also
with
wear heels.
Yeah, at Composure
Lesser.
we don't start with heels. Sometimes
okay.
I do, but
Okay.
we wear heels while guests are there.
Wow.
So so my feet, my tootsies, my dogs are
my gosh,
barking.
yeah.
Dogs.
Wow.
But I've got a video to show you guys. I haven't showed you yet, and Dom, you have to like put it up on the thing.
Yeah.
But I did a little elevating during the ceremony. And my
Who took
Casual.
this video?
my lovely assistant Liz
Oh.
captured it in real time.
Thank you, Liz.
I know. I was like,
needed this.
send me that, and I was like,
We
I
need
am
this.
showing the girls.
I love this.
Okay. Wait.
Oh my gosh, I love
Wait,
it.
go back. Please tell me you see her face.
Kind of. Oh, she's waving.
My head was okay.
You're like
Wait.
this.
It scans back.
Literally, while they're saying their vows, Sarah's just like, oh,
Sarah.
Yeah. So
she does it all, folks.
I know
Literally.
nobody would know. Nobody
Yeah,
would know, but
no.
gotta take care of myself. You know.
That is
Exactly.
so funny.
I know.
The amount of times during ceremonies, like I see photo, video, or planning teams just like trying to eat a snack
Yes,
really fast or like
yes.
do something, and they're like up at the front of the church and all of that's
Literally the
going
most
on, and you're just like,
important
Just
how fast can I eat this granola bar?
Got to take advantage of those small
Yeah.
moments that you have.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Proud of you for taking care of yourself during
you.
your
Yeah,
wedding
and my
day.
feet still hurt the next day, but not as bad as normal.
Good.
So,
Good. So it worked.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't sit still. I gotta keep,
Yeah,
and
that's
probably
true. You're
where
actually taking photos.
I
during the
gotta
ceremony.
move.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
stand. Well, I mean, just at all aspects of the day. If I stop moving, I'm like, what should I be doing?
Malfunction.
Yeah. I'm like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm missing
Yeah.
something. I need to
not
probably
wrong.
give myself more grace for that.
Yeah, you deserve to take a moment to sit down and relax for a moment
And eat your
and
snack.
regulate your body.
Yes.
so hard.
It is hard. It's.
I'm the same way.
But
We
some
get
weddings
it.
are
I know.
different. Some are very fast paced, and some are
You just don't have a
slower.
second.
Or if you're all at the same venue, then that sometimes you have a little more of a break too.
Yeah.
And
versus
that's
running
what was
around.
mine.
So
It was
yeah.
that got ready at the venue, ceremony
Yeah.
was at the venue, so that was really nice
That
just
is
to be
nice.
in one space all day.
That's what we were in all space.
Let me
start that over.
We were in one space all
Yeah.
day, which moving parts are fun. It's fun to have different places to go. Photo wise, it's really fun to go to different places, but something about being all together, I'm just like, I don't have to leave. I don't have to get in my car. I don't have to pack things up.
Yeah.
It just makes me like more stressed that I'm like, I don't want something to go wrong, that I think I'm on edge. So I like sometimes when they're just all one space.
Just one space, yeah. Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
It was fun though because when we had what recently Madison's, we got
we
our
had a
little
wedding
time in
together?
the car together. We drove to the
Oh, we
ceremony
did.
together, so that was fun.
Yeah. No, that
That's
was really
sweet.
fun.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah, I
nice
like
to have that moment. We're just like had the AC
Yeah.
blasting.
Literally.
There was a
Do you want a
moment
protein bar? I'm gonna eat one now.
we just kind of sat in silence for a little bit, and I was like,
Kind of
This
just
is-
needed
this
that.
is
yeah.
needed, yeah. just a little tiny moment of silence. When you guys leave wedding days, do you drive in silence or do you play music?
Silence every time.
Silence.
Silence. Yeah. I mean, well, Mitch is in the car, but usually a lot of time we're silent or we'll talk and debrief our day. Like, what do we think? How did it go? Like, how are you feeling? All the things. But
Yeah. I
Yeah.
call Holt, but half the time it's so late that he's either asleep, so he's like half awake, and I'm like, I'll talk to you when I get home. But sometimes he'll like talk through the whole day. But I'm like, I just need to maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
I can't do
debrief.
that.
Yeah.
I call.
So you're
Zach,
on
let
for
him-
like how many hours?
right.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
True.
But the
Anywhere
whole
from
day.
6
yeah.
to 12.
Yeah.
Probably longer for you.
No, I I am lucky I don't have to stay until the very end.
That is nice.
I've got a team that does that, which is great.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Corey with Composure. I don't think I've ever mentioned that I do not own my own business. I work for Composure Events owned by the lovely Corey Jabot. So just want to plug that really quick as well.
I don't know if I know that was how to pronounce her last name.
I didn't
I
either.
love that.
Really? What do you think it was?
Jabot.
Corey with Composure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Corey with Composure.
I thought it was like bod, but I didn't know the first part.
Same.
Jabot.
But yeah, so I don't have to stay until the very end of the night. So I typically head out somewhat close to open dance floor time. So I make sure everything is good to go. Of course, say bye to everybody that I want to say bye to, which is always, you never
Everybody.
know.
Yeah.
either the couple is so drunk at that point that they're just like, I love you so much.
Love you, best day ever.
Right. Or they get emotional.
Yeah.
Aw.
So it's always fun.
So sweet.
But
Yeah.
That is fun.
And then I drive home in silence. I call Zach and I say, hey, I'm headed
leaving.
home. And they'll be like, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, no.
No, goodbye.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll maybe say like a couple of things if there's like things on the top of my head that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to recap it. I just
Yeah.
want to sit in silence,
Yeah.
actually. And he's so sweet. Sometimes he'll have a little foot bath waiting for me.
Oh,
I know.
That's
Zach.
so
I
sweet.
know. Those are the best. Because a
Husband
lot of the
of the
times
year.
he's out. It's a Saturday night. So
Right,
he's
right.
either like spending time with friends or
Yeah.
he plays
He's
soccer. He's
doing
doing
something.
things.
Yeah.
But when he's home, he likes to have. He knows he should have that right now. No, that's all him.
sweet.
He is actually
That's
that
so
was a Christmas
sweet.
gift from him too. So
Wow.
I know.
I love you, Zach.
I know. Love you.
Miss you.
We love you so much.
You're the best.
See you when I get home, babe.
Going back to like post-wedding day, pre-wedding day, do you guys have a song you always like go back to? Like going to. I know it's kind of like a pump up.
Guess.
Guess?
No, guess.
Like guess what the song is?
No, like the song Guess.
Oh.
No,
wait,
kidding.
what?
Oh, I was like, I've
Were
never
you
heard of this
confused?
song. Yes.
What are you saying? Is she? Am I not understanding?
Guess
Girl?
what song?
Or-
What?
HOTGOG. I just don't know the name of it.
Yes.
What is it?
Was it a Chaperone song?
Yeah, I just put on her album.
That's smart.
Currently, obviously, this is my current phase. Like, I get obsessed with artists. Like,
Certain-
last
yeah.
year, I was absolutely obsessed with Noah Kahan. Still love Noah Kahan, but I was like, we're listening to his album on repeat religiously.
Yeah.
This year, it's Chaperone for me. So,
like that.
just on repeat religiously.
It's a good one. It's a good energy. I made a playlist last year. I think the Barbie movie really just had so
Inspired
many
you.
bangers.
So good.
That so many from that make
Watch
me happy.
me
That's on there. I also, honestly, a lot of Taylor Swift. I don't know what it is. I have to listen to Cruel Summer before I go to a wedding.
Can we talk about Taylor Swift really quick? How was the game? Holt.
Oh,
I said Holt had his first game of the season. The Chiefs had their home opener,
mean-
and Grace was there, and of course the lovely Taylor was there, looking
Oh my gosh,
absolutely
she looks amazing.
stunning.
Obsessed with
Incredible.
her.
She get a new stylist because
she's just in that
looks so
wag
good.
era.
she is in that wag era.
Wag era.
Like, I loved when she would wear the Chiefs sweatshirts and stuff and be all cute like that. But
Kind
I'm
of how
like,
she started.
right,
Yeah.
which was so cute and genuine and sweet. But now
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, girl, like
Yeah.
fire fit.
And
Yes.
now you know why I panic about my outfits I sent to you guys. Literally texting you. I'm like, is this
Your
look okay?
cute
Do you think this is all right? Because I panic because everyone looks so cute. And I'm like, I want to look cute.
It's
And
a,
you
it's a
do
lot
look
of pressure.
cute.
I would
It is
feel
a
the
lot of
same
pressure.
way.
I want to look cute, but I want to look fun. I don't want to look like I try too hard.
You also want to look like you're going
Well-
to a football game.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
You're
feel
going
like
to a sporting
each
event.
each week is like a different fit, so it's like you can't just wear the same
I
stuff over and
know.
over.
I need to get more
Gotta get
stuff.
creative.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and then like weather's different. So like there's hot
Oh,
games.
sure,
There's only
yeah.
like 2 hot games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wore a sweatshirt to a 90-degree game. Good job, Grace. Honestly, it worked out. Ended up raining. It was fine, but no, it was a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
that's true.
It's crazy to think that like football's here, fall is here.
I know.
It's kind of wild.
I love it. It's the best time
I
of
know.
year.
I think
I
it
know.
is too. I know it's our busiest, but it is just oof.
But it's just the best
Just
at the same time.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, good job for us starting a podcast in busy season.
Yay!
We really thought that one through, didn't we?
We tried. I mean, we did our best.
We did.
Yeah,
It
we've been
just
working
worked out
on
this
it
way.
for
Yeah.
a while.
And we also,
so-
I mean, like it wasn't. You know, we were giving ourselves grace throughout the, giving ourselves grace throughout the whole planning process of it all too. You know, just because we want it to be fun. That's what we said. We want it to be fun. We don't want it to feel like we're bending over backwards. We're stressed out about it. We're not excited to meet and
We
talk
have a
about
timeline.
things. Right.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, we don't want
so-
there to be the added pressure because we don't want it to be something that we end up hating
yeah,
or
exactly.
not looking forward to.
or just feeling too overwhelmed to do.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Which I like looking back over the last like 5 months of everything we've done to get here. I don't think we could have done this now.
Wait,
Or
Are you
sorry,
meaning,
sorry,
like-
no.
done
I
all
don't think
the
we could have
build-up,
done
the
all
planning,
of that
the prep.
in the busy season.
Oh, no.
I think
There's
where we're
no
at
way.
now at busy season, it works out. But all of the prep the last 5 months, we could not have done
No.
now in this season.
No.
We would be way overworked, overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and it would crash into the ground.
Yeah. Which
drowning.
we've learned already
Yeah.
a lot.
What have we learned?
Yeah.
How long do we have again?
However long we want. We make the rules,
That's
baby.
true. That's true. Well, I mean, how have you guys felt now? Today officially is the intro episode came out today, but we've really been kind of like constant on social media. People have seen us, but now they've actually seen us. They've listened, they've watched. I know we've had a lot of opinions because at first it was all kept between us. We sent it to each other. We talked about it. We talked about things we didn't like and
Us and my family.
and your family. Just
kidding.
Us and Sarah's family.
Yes.
But like, how have you guys kind of felt about it being out there and like sharing literally us?
I kind of to start, because I remember when I was like editing back the podcast, Mitch was like, how's it going? And I know we all kind of talked about when we podcast, we're obviously having conversation, but it almost feels like we can't remember everything we talked about, like almost like we black out and we're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot we had that. Like we were talking about this and stuff. So whenever I was going back editing it, I was like, wow, like, you know, this is just three best friends.
Two.
Well, I was gonna say like you two as my best friends, but no. But
No, we
three
know how
best
Dom really
friends.
feels. We're getting to the real stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, who's number one on my list? We'll see. But just between like three best friends getting to talk and hang out. But I remember Mitch was like, he said something along the lines of, yeah, just like, how are you feeling about it? And as I was so excited, I was like, wow, like we're actually like, we're about to put ourselves out there. We're getting vulnerable. Like we're sharing, you know, our truth. We're sharing hot takes. We're just talking about all things weddings
publicly.
and stuff.
Yes.
But like, it was kind of scary. I was like, wow, like even just like listening back to myself, I'm like, wow, I sound like this. And so Mitch was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, I don't like my voice. Like I do not like how I sound. But I was like just picking myself apart. And I feel like that was hard because like you're so excited to do this. And then all of a sudden you're like, are people going to make fun of me? You know, am I going to say everything that I wanted to say? Are they going to understand me?
Am I going to offend somebody?
Right.
Yes.
And I wouldn't mean to do that. And so it's just all of a sudden it was like we were on this high. And I think we all said that too. The day we posted all of our social media content, or I guess the first post, we were all like, wow, this is so exciting. Like still texting throughout that evening. And then all of a sudden it was just like really us debriefing and looking at it all. And we were like, wait, okay, do people are going to see me look like this?
We all kind of like hit, like
Yes.
we were, like you said,
Riding
we
the
were
high.
on such a high. And then all of a sudden I think we all were like,
Crashed at the same
oh
time.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like this is really real and it is
Yeah.
a vulnerable thing. But it's also like we're opening up ourselves to criticism.
Yeah,
And to opinions and to so many things.
Yeah.
So like that's terrifying.
it is. Especially
So
too,
terrifying.
none of us have done that before. It's
Right.
not like, oh, we were YouTubers and we're doing this, or
We were
oh,
on
we were
reality
doing
TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just new for all of us. So it's definitely filled with lots of emotions.
And not only is it tied to like who we are as people, it's tied to our businesses. Like it's tied
100%.
to our work. It's tied to clients in the industry. Like you add in another layer of like it's tied to everything about us,
Yeah.
which that's why we want to do it. We want to share all of
Right.
this, but like
Terrifying at the same
so
time.
scary. Like I know we kind of talked about things about ourselves we didn't like with like I do this a lot. I do just talking about things we didn't like more than things we did like, and I think that first intro episode was very hard for us to watch back.
yeah,
Yeah. Or even just like I was watching the little teaser video over and over. And then eventually I got to a point, like I absolutely loved it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my butt looks so big in that shot. And I said it to Zach, and Zach was like, Sarah,
I know.
this is what we're not going to do. We're not going to overanalyze every little thing that's
Yeah.
being posted, because you're going to be sharing stuff to the world every single week.
Yeah.
And if you go back and re-listen and rewatch over and over and over again, and again, bring yourself down, like that's not healthy. That's not fun. That's not why you're doing this.
Yep.
So having a partner that could call me out on that and acknowledge that and be like, Sarah, I love your fat ass. He's like, you should have a big butt. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a big butt.
Yep.
yeah.
But just we're our own worst We're our own worst critic.
Yes.
And I definitely felt the imposter syndrome also just kind of coming in as people were like sharing, and like our video had 10,000 views, and I was like, what?
Well, and even
1,000 views? That's not at all what we were thinking
wild.
was going to happen.
We were hoping for like a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh gosh. It
Yeah.
kind of just, it happened really fast. Like we knew it was going to happen, but also
we wanted it to happen too, because we want more
Right,
reach.
yeah.
We want more people to feel seen and
Right.
you know, connect with what we're saying
Yeah.
in
Right.
our conversations with each other. But
And even I was just gonna say the coolest part too about it was like I would get messages, like we all would get messages and be like, oh my gosh, I knew her, or like I went to school with her, or wait, my friend just posted this and I'm posting it now too because I know you, and like someone knows Sarah, someone knows Grace, and just seeing all those connections within the community was honestly just so special. I'm like, what the heck? Like it's just so crazy. So yeah,
we've gotten so much good
I know.
support, and we have a lot of people that love and care about us.
It's
that are listening. to this
literally
right
we just
now.
don't want
Brings us to
disappoint
tears.
anybody,
Yes,
or let
right.
anybody down.
Well,
or
and I think that's what we kind of went back to of like
people pleasers.
people
it all comes together. Saying the wrong things, like we're not going to get it right. We're going to say things, and we are understanding that we're not perfect. We're not going to get it right. We're going to say things, but like we're here to be more aware of that within each other. We want to grow with each other. So like there are going to be things we're going to be wrong about, or so many things I watched that first episode back, and I was like, I know this detail and I said it wrong, or I know this word and I said it wrong. And then I was like, I need to stop picking it apart because half people aren't going to realize it. But it's just hard to think like, I don't want to disappoint anyone by saying something wrong or getting a detail or a fact wrong. Like,
Right.
Right, well, even in our episode, well, I guess technically it's not out yet. Our Thursday episode last week. I'm confused. This is
this is a lot.
in our I kept saying bride and groom, and listening back, I was like, that's not inclusive. I should be saying the couple, because there are plenty of grooms and brides, and all are beautiful and all should be celebrated, not just the bride and the groom. So that was even something just before even putting it out there to the world. I was like, shoot, I don't want to offend anybody by saying bride, but it's just that's just like what's ingrained in my brain, and that's just what came out.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day too, like editing, like if we were to critique us, if we were critique ourselves, like we would cut everything out, and then that's not us being genuine, vulnerable. Like that is not the point, is to be like, okay, like we have this little segment, perfect, let's put that out there. It's like, no, like we're gonna give you the real stuff. We're like you guys said, we're not gonna be right about everything. We're gonna be like, shoot, we should have done that. Like it's all still so new. So just gotta give ourselves grace through that.
100%.
Yeah, we're all learning together.
Yes.
That's why we want to do this.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We've got our grace.
we got our grace.
Hi.
Hello.
If anything, we have grace.
We do.
Happy to help. Happy to be here.
Constant reminder.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I want to ask you, Dom. You have most of the work is really on you at this point now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you are our lovely tech girly.
Go me.
You're making this all happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how are you feeling? I know you've talked to us on the side, but
Yeah, I mean, personally, in the beginning, I was feeling really good. But I think I'm somebody that, if I've learned anything this year, is I say yes before I've thought on it, before I've prayed on it. And it's not that it's going to be a no, but it's more just
You're not putting yourself first.
yes. And I feel like when you say yes to everything all the time, it's obviously overwhelming, which we all know that. But I think for me too, something that I'm learning with myself is I thought I was a very organized kind of planner person, and I really think I'm becoming more spontaneous. I don't want to say like last minute where I'm unorganized, but it's almost like until I'm in it and doing it, I don't realize the impact that it will have on me. And so, I mean, just last week when we all got together, we were talking about a different editing schedule, and then we had to kind of change it up. Just because it really was taking a toll on me. And I think something that I learned throughout that too was I like to do everything in one sitting. So if we can record and then I can edit right after, I don't care what it's going to do. Like I will cancel my workout class. I will not eat dinner with Mitch. I will, and that's just, those things fill me up. And so I needed to kind of reevaluate, I think, one, by having that conversation with you guys, But then two, by also being like, okay, you know, maybe once we record today, I'm not going to do anything with the podcast the rest of the day. I'm going to take it from me. I'm going to debrief. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to edit something else. Like, and so that's what I kind of have decided is I have like a specific day that I want to edit the podcast so that I am giving it its full attention. And also just being able to, you know, not burn myself out. So yeah, it's definitely, it was kind of a lot in the beginning. And I think too, just like, us recording our first episode ever and it being much shorter, which you guys have seen by now. It is only like 30 minutes. And then most of our episodes are probably going to be an hour to an hour and a half, I would think. I don't know. We'll see. We make the rules. But
5 hours later.
Right.
Sorry, Dom.
Still listening.
He's still here.
But yeah, it's all about having those conversations. And you two are always so supportive of me and did not think anything of it when I brought up that conversation. And it just shows that those are like true friends, and I shouldn't have been nervous to bring it up to you guys. But I think it is the people pleaser in me and just wanting to say yes, and I can do it. And I even told Mitch, like, Mitch, I can do it. And he was just like, but are you sacrificing everything else to do it? And it's like, okay, yeah, like I am. So it was just getting to the point where, yeah. So I feel like now that I've kind of regrouped and have a better balance on my schedule and actually making a schedule for me throughout the week, I think that has given me a lot of peace. And, you know, if for some reason it becomes too much or something like that, we reevaluate. We have those conversations. Like it doesn't have to be done a certain way. We say like, okay, this is it. And then we have to stick with it. Like we are changing, we are learning, we are growing. Life is going to happen to us.
And that's what we said from the beginning. Like, we're always going to, like, we're going to start out, but we're always going to shift and change. Like, we knew this one was probably going to be something that we were going to need to reevaluate. But, like, I know we said a lot, like, we're just so proud of you for vocalizing that. Because I think, like we've said before, obviously we're best friends. We're very comfortable, but that doesn't change the fact that
it's a hard conversation.
It's hard to tell. Because, again, there's the added layer, like we've talked about on, like, wedding days. You don't want to disappoint the people closest to you.
Yeah.
So it immediately feels like disappointment, even though, you know, the second you tell both of us, we're like, I'm sorry you were holding this in. I'm sorry you even felt like this. Like, we've had a lot of conversations like that since starting this of like, hey, this is really heavy on me.
Yeah.
And the second we get it out there, it feels good, but it doesn't mean it's any easier to bring up to each other.
Right. And I'm sure, I mean, I would be just replaying the conversation that hasn't even happened in my head. And I'm like trying to prepare for how somebody's going to react. And you're making it so much worse than it ever is. It's literally a conversation. Like, that's what a conversation is. You're not supposed to know what somebody's going to say back. You just talk and you talk through it and you work it out. So the fact that you, even like you waiting till the very end of us hanging out.
I literally went to the bathroom
like
every
8
time.
hours
I went
later.
like 10 times and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out there and say it.
And the fact that it was just struggling.
I know.
We had no idea.
You had no idea.
No.
Yeah. Right.
And it's just like showing yourself like, okay, that wasn't bad. Like, why am I putting myself through this? I should just say it from the beginning. Like right when we get together, guys, there's something on my mind. I need to get it off.
Yeah.
Because you know that if anybody knows, we do. And the last thing we want is for this to be something that any of us start to resent. That's not at all. That's a problem if we get to that point.
Exactly.
So it's also hard. I can't remember who I was talking to about this. Probably Shaylee, because I think I talked to her about everything going on in my life. But we were just talking about like working with your friends is great, but also hard. Like working with each other, making sure like we're kind of the fine line of like being friends and also like not running a business, but like we are in a way kind of running aspects of a business.
Making sure everybody's pulling their weight. And I know for me, it's hard because I don't know the video side of things. I don't know the photo side of things. Grace is so much better at social media than I am.
Not true.
So it's like, I'm like, I want to like contribute. Like I want to make sure I'm doing enough
and you
too.
Have
and
been.
Not feel like,
yeah,
but that's something on my mind. Because I'm like, I
know.
Talk.
But it's hard to talk to that. Like it's hard to talk to each other about those things.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't want to make anyone upset, but like I want to make sure everyone's feeling validated and also not feeling too overwhelmed because we also have our lives and our business and everything outside of the podcast. That it's like this is another thing we love, but it is something we just want to be, I don't know, aware of.
Well, and I think too, like kind of earlier, I didn't even give I wasn't like giving myself enough time to be able to think the feelings I was feeling because I was just like, we're in busy season, on to the next thing. I can't dwell on it. I can't think about it. I can't try and change it. And honestly, which has never like kind of happened to me. I've always been a pretty good eater. But literally I had a friend text me last week and she was like, hey, like, are we okay? Like, you've literally like haven't made it to any of the workout classes. And I'm like, I'm not like eating the best. And so therefore I don't have the energy to even make it to my workout class, because then when I get to the workout class, I'm going to be stressed out that I'm going to pass out or something. And so to me, that was just a wake up call of like, oh my gosh, like I'm literally, and not even just with the podcast, it's just busy season of life for me personally. And so I think just with all of that, and again, saying yes to everything, I was like,
burnt out.
Yeah. And I've never like, it was literally a wake up call for me. Like I literally was not eating the amount of food I should have been eating. And I was like, I feel this stress on my body, and I've never really like known what people say when you can like feel the stress and stuff. So I think for me, it was just a good wake up call to have those conversations, to not say yes right away to other things, whether it's plans with friends, whether it's, I don't know, anything that comes up. But it's just,
our job especially, like we work on weekends.
Right.
We have to miss out on so much stuff that we also put that added pressure of like the time that we do have is so sacred and special to us. But I think I put pressure on myself twofold. One, I'm like, I got to make the most of this day because it's my one day a week that I have for myself. But then also the added pressure of like, I got to do everything.
Yeah.
And then I sit back and I'm like, wow, I didn't even really enjoy the day as much. And I'm still tired. But it's also, personally for me, it's hard to sit there and not want to work. Because I do enjoy it, but also I'm like, it's just right there. I have time. I should just do it.
Yeah.
It's
I can be
hard
so
to
productive for just 30 minutes if I just do that. Yeah. And I can so relate to those, because I remember, I mean, we've been in the industry for almost 4 years and I'm still getting used to it. But like every time Mitch and I have a Saturday off, we're like, I put so much pressure on, like, we have to do this. We have to have the perfect date night. We have to, see family. We also got to do this. Ooh, let's go to the farmer's market and try something new. Like I feel this pressure and I'm like, wait, no, like we could just chill, or we could, take
on
off
the couch
that pressure.
all day and it's okay.
And it's fine. But it is like hard when, like you said, your schedules can be so different than family and friends and
some people just don't understand it and don't get it.
Yeah.
Like the day after a wedding, I can't do a lot.
Right. And I have had things the day after every wedding recently, and I've just been kind of go. And it's all been fun stuff, and it hasn't really like hit me just yet, but in the back of my mind, it's definitely there. Like,
it's coming.
And so I'm like, okay, what do I need to do now so that when it does hit, it's not such a bad crash.
Right.
Are there specific things you guys have either realized to this point or you're aware of and trying to work on, like boundary wise, that you've been setting for yourself, especially with busy season, but like in general too? Like I'm starting to plan out almost 2026. Like I'm about to wrap up my calendar for 2025. So this is where I'm kind of like, okay, what do I want to take into this year? Like, are there things either this season or into the next year that you're already kind of thinking about?
Yeah. Well, even for this season, like last season, I had 4 weddings in December, the last one being 2 days before Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's just too much. Like I haven't thought about like Christmas shopping. I haven't spent that quality time with family and friends that you should be doing during the holidays. And I'm living a life for all these other people and giving them all of their experiences and letting them have these great memories. But I'm not doing that with my people and doing it for myself.
I'm giving up my own.
Right. Right.
Which sometimes
it's
there's
good.
a balance.
Exactly. It's like I've enjoyed all of those weddings and they were all great and they were fun in the moment, but then it's like it's 2 different people. It's like Sarah with composure, like Sarah working weddings, and then there's me.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance. And so this year I did not have a single wedding in December, because I told Corey, I was like, maybe the first weekend of December I'll take one, but after that, I'm not interested. So setting that boundary, but then there's the fine line of, okay, well, I do need income. Especially during the holidays when buying all these gifts and things for family and friends. So it's just a fun mind game. Yeah.
Because that's, I think we talked about, Dom, I think the 3 of us all kind of talked about it, but I remember especially because this is when we really dove into the podcast in like January, February, which is like off season.
Yeah.
We both just kept saying like, I still don't feel like this is my time off. Like it
Right.
doesn't, all of a sudden it's just going to be here. Like it just, I'm still tired. And it's like, and you had weddings in January last year.
Yeah, I had one in January,
So
but then it's like I'm having monthly meetings with all of these other
Right.
couples that are getting married in the spring and in the fall. So even though I'm not working on the weekend, I'm still, it's a heavy workload for the week.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we got to off season and we were like, I just really don't think we didn't get the time in the holidays to maybe do certain things or things we're used to doing or saw everyone else do. That's where we got to the end and we were like, oh, it's over, but now this is my time.
Yeah.
It's just hard to, I don't know, because you can't, especially for us, we plan a year or more ahead that it's like, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind for next year
Yeah.
or the year after because our year's already planned by then.
Right.
So trying to like figure out what makes sense and knowing that like that's not something we're going to see immediately change. Like we're going to maybe not see that change for another year,
Yeah.
which is also hard to wrap my head around.
It's crazy. Kind of back to your point, Sarah, where you were saying just like, you know, last year was like a grinding year for you and how you pretty much were doing things for everyone kind of but yourself. I like had a quote or something that I was listening to on another podcast that really spoke to me. And it says an overwhelmed schedule will produce an underwhelmed soul. And then the second part of it was
I was going to look at you.
Preach.
find it. Sorry, I gotta find it.
You're
Okay.
Come on, Sounds of Sarah, what you got? Your eyeshadow looks really pretty.
Oh, thank you. I do the same thing every single day.
It like catches the light and it looks really good.
It's a little shimmer.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
We needed that. Lighter mood. Yeah, and then the rest of it is I just wrote down like when we look back at this year, will it be filled with stuff we enjoyed and we wanted to do, or was it constantly doing things we felt we needed to say yes to or do for others? And just like we need a balance through that because it is like, I mean, as much as like we're wanting to go deeper in our work and become more creative and stuff, like there's also so many things that are happening in our stages of life and just our personal life and wanting to just do different things and I don't know, grow ourselves and stuff like that. So
Is there anything boundary wise have you set, like have you either been working on and noticed this year it's made a difference or something you've like wanted to work on for like next year?
Definitely
Putting you on the
next year.
spot. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I was gonna
still working on
say
it.
I'm
Yeah, I know, I'm
like
constantly
this whole
working on mine.
year I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna set boundaries with family, with friends, with everything, and I have not done the best with that. So I
Sometimes
definitely
just being aware of it is a good thing.
I know.
Not
Yeah.
maybe not even putting it in practice, but just being aware of like, okay, I know I need to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I think, earlier what I said, like I really just, before I say yes to things, I just want to think on it. I want to pray on it, even if it takes me a week, whether it takes me the next day. You know, there's different things, but I just really want to start doing things that fuel my soul and that are getting me excited versus stressing me out or feeling like I need to say yes or feeling FOMO and feeling like, well, I want to be a part of the group too and I want to do that. Like, I just think it truly... I just really want to do things that fuel my soul. And I told Mitch, like, I don't know what it is with this year. And maybe it's just because, you know, like I want to have a family soon, but I'm just like, I want that slow pace of life. Like Mitch is my priority, my dogs right now, and then hopefully a baby one day. But like, I just want the slower pace of life. Like I feel like all these past 4 years that I've been married to Mitch, it's been, let's hang out with friends every weekend. Let's jump around and see our families and do something every weekend with them. And I love them. And I want everyone to still, like, I want all of those relationships and friendships and all of that to keep happening and growing and stuff. But it's just, I don't know. This year and next year, I really want it to be focused on Mitch and I.
Yeah. I like that.
And just the slower pace of life. Like, I don't know how many times I've literally just like woke up and feel so overwhelmed. And I'm like, I shouldn't feel this way. Like
I'm the same way.
should not feel like I can't even edit. I can't even think about going to the dog park because I have to edit, or I can't think about, you know, what if I'm in a creative rut today or I'm struggling?
It's
like,
the what ifs.
yes, it is constantly just runs your mind. And I feel like I wrote down some things that I was going to share real quick about just like some non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Good call.
So some non-negotiables for me that I feel like I like to start off with for each day or even just during the week. I definitely want to be like reading in God's word or listening to worship music, praying. I just feel like that really just sets my tone for the day. And just really just helps me remember like what's important and, focusing on like my mental health and things like that. So then I can then fill up others. And then also I think obviously eating and not canceling my workout classes, since I've been doing that the past few weeks. And then, like I said, I kind of created a schedule where I just wanted a few things, like for instance, focusing on Mitch and I. So I want to have a date night once a week, and we were doing that for a while, but then it was kind of just oh, well, we're busy, or should we just have friends over tonight, or should we just, I just am no, I want to bring that back. That's important to me, whether it's a long walk with our dogs, whether it's dinner on a patio or something. I want that intentional time with him. Yeah. That really fills me up. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I wrote a few other things down too, like my editing schedule and what I want that to look like, because honestly, I'm someone that just wakes up every day and is we'll see what I edit today or what I'm working on. And I don't know, I've never really been a schedule girly in that sense. And I'm maybe I should be okay, I'm going to find music for this documentary, and maybe I'm going to cull this documentary, or just different things. So definitely
just writing all those things down.
Yes.
So that way it's out of your brain, and you you'll get to it when you get to it, but you can check it off once you actually do it.
You saw my to-do list last week when we got together.
And I was I need to, and I actually did one the next day, because I always think I have this journal, I have a planner, I have all those things that I just don't utilize that I know would help so much if I did. I just keep it all in my brain, or I'll set a reminder on my phone. But either way, it's either in my brain or electronically. Yes. That's how I'm reading it all. And it can just get overwhelming really quickly.
I just mainly I do it so that way I can feel like I accomplished more by checking. I'll put fold laundry, respond to texts. I mean, that's a big one. But that's a really large one.
The pressure to respond anymore. Oh, I got a point on that too.
Yeah, with your phone, it's easy to feel so overwhelmed because anybody has access to you at any time, and they feel like you owe them a response right away. Yeah. But it's totally normal to take the time to actually think about it, like you're saying, not just replying yes right away. Yeah. Or even for me, I'll have people who want a phone call, and I'm I really genuinely do not have time for a phone call with them today. So I'll just reply back and be if you want to send me a voice memo, I'll voice memo you back as soon as I can. Yeah. But so that way it feels more genuine than just a text message. You're hearing my voice, we're having a conversation, but it's just not one full conversation. It's just happening throughout the day.
And I've noticed now, because I said the same thing to Abby yesterday. She sent me voice memos, and over the weekend I leave my phone and I just can't respond to things. But then I think at the end of every day, I do all of my work, I respond to all of my emails, and it's just conversation fatigue that then I leave my personal text for the end of the day, and I'm I have no energy to respond to this. I'm not present. I'll go listen to, and I love voice memos, I'll go listen, but halfway I'll be through it and I'm I'm not listening. And so I have to go unread the message, because I'm I need to come back to this when I can, but I feel bad, and I'm I'm sorry I'm so behind. And she's always dude, you don't even have to respond.
Well, give me an explanation.
It's okay.
That's what's crazy is why were we ever ingrained to have to text back right away, to have to call back right away? It is insane that, I'll literally have family members that are well, what are you doing? You haven't talked to me all day. And I'm well, I've been working, or I'm busy, or I just wanted to give you that intentional time that you deserve too, to have that conversation. But it's not just oh, I see them and I'm just sitting on the couch oh, and maybe if I am,
which is okay.
Yes, exactly. But it's why do we have to respond back? And that's real fast. That's the point that I was going to bring up, is important over immediate. So say we're editing, or Sarah, you're responding to emails and a text comes through, or another email. Well, unless in the headline sounded urgent. So old. Unless in the subject line it says urgent or immediate, well, maybe I just need to not read that right away. Maybe I just need to not answer that call right away if I'm not in the right headspace. I set aside to answer these emails. I set aside time to edit. If it's not important, or if it's not immediate, then it can wait. Exactly. But it's why did we ever feel like we have to text back right away. Do you guys remember like in high school and middle school, it'd be like texting your best friend all day long over? I'm like, it's just funny that we're like ingrained, like it's just ingrained in us.
Well, and I think with our schedules, we work all day and then people want us in the evenings or on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that's where we're like, oh crap, like I got to respond to this because this is when I have them, or that's when, and that's when I think I answer all my emails for the day and I'm like, yes, the inbox is 0. And then by the end of the day, it's at 10. And
But
I'm
it's
like,
always going to keep coming. So then it's another mental game of, oh, I'm caught up. But it's like, you're never caught up.
Right.
That's never going to happen.
Right.
You're going to send an email and then somebody's going to reply to that email.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is. So why do we get stressed about that and let that have so much power over us?
Yeah.
And it does. It still does. It just popping up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a client, or this is,
because we want to make sure they feel valued and like, hey, I am here. Like I'm responding. You. Yes, I promise you're important to me. But it is so I feel like guilty when it's like it's 2 days later and I'm like, oh, I haven't emailed them back yet.
Right.
And it's like, okay, unless it isn't urgent, immediate, like there's only. You're working with 50 people. They're working with 1.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's where it's kind of hard to juggle
100% for each of those people that you're working with. So it's literally impossible.
It is.
Like there's no way to be 100% to everyone.
That is something I'm still trying to figure out boundary wise of like
100%
communication, like when I'm going to open that.
100%. 100%.
100%. That's what I'm still trying to figure out. And everyone has different opinions about it too. They're like, just do this or do this or do this. I'm like, if that works for you, that's awesome.
You just have
that
to
doesn't
figure
work
out
for
what
me.
works for you.
Right.
And, well, same with you're talking about like not skipping workouts, eating.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Like we'll have our routine where we're going to work out on this day and this day.
Yeah.
But then I skipped lunch. So I get home and I have a lot of evening meetings too because people work during the day. So they want to meet in the evening.
Yeah.
So I get home and I'm like, I do not have the energy to work out. So then I just go into cooking. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't have the energy to cook. So then it's takeout and then it's, that's not healthy either.
And honestly, with us who have anxiety, like workouts can be such a game changer. Like
I need to stop with 100%.
100%.
I'm calling myself out.
99%. Yeah.
90, 92.
But it's just, like it's, you just get out of your head. You get that time for yourself and it's just,
it always
it's refreshing,
off,
a good reset. You never regret a workout. Never.
Also, something
unless you're gonna pass out because you're starving.
Well, true. So, exactly. True. Then you're terrified. You're not coming back to the workout class. We're gonna cancel my membership.
Exactly.
I'm done. I'm over. We've talked about this of we try to have a routine, but we don't have a routine. We try as hard as we can, but every single day looks so different. Just like every wedding's different, every meeting, every couple, everything is so different that it's hard to have and stick with a weekly routine. Yeah. Because things come up. And that's where I think it's kind of hard that like maybe I'm working on of really sticking to that and not letting anything come in between that. Like even planning for the podcast, we're like, okay, it's going to be Tuesdays. This is it. But it's hard because we still have to give and take.
Yeah.
Right.
But sticking to
today,
a routine.
I knew I had a call was wanted that had to happen on this day. Yeah. So I had to take that call this morning, even though I was excited about the episode launching today and things like that. Like my head isn't necessarily there, but okay, we've got to get there. But there's no option. Like this is the only time to have this conversation. So it has to happen. So it's urgent. Yeah. So we're going to make this happen. But everything else, like I will get back to your email tomorrow. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But just knowing that that's okay.
I know.
And actually
and following through with
understanding.
You start to feel like almost uncomfortable. Like, is this okay? Is this right? And it's just like, okay, like, might feel uncomfortable at first, but you're setting that boundary and you're trying to keep it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel drained.
I know.
Drained even talking about
lots of boundaries.
But that's the beauty of our job too. Like we don't, that structure, it's not a 9 to 5. Like we have full control over that though. Like if I'm tired one day and I don't have a meeting and I want to sleep in and start my day a little bit later, I can. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's where it can come back at us of like, okay, I did take this off, which is good and I needed that, but now we're doing it ourselves.
Right.
That it's also like, crap, okay, now I still have to get
actually
this
now
done.
do this until 7 p.m. tonight since I started late today.
Yes. Well, and like I work into the evenings. I have engagement sessions. I have things in the evening. So it's like, okay, but so then do I start my day at 11 because I'm going to be working till 8? Or do I still start my day at 8 and work until 8? But then
That's
it's like,
too
well,
much.
it's stuff I need to get done. Yeah. I think it's also seeing it all ahead of you that you're like, I know I need to get all this done. And I have deadlines
feel
and I have
that pressure.
contracts. Yeah. That you're like, when else is it going to get done?
And like some days it can be like, okay, I know today's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
And some days it's like, okay, next week I did that on Tuesday last week. I'm not going to do that again. Like
right.
always, yeah, always changing depending on mood, depending on what you're going through in life too, like your personal life and stuff. So
Depending on your hormones,
yeah,
where you're at in your cycle.
Exactly.
Because I will overcommit to things and then the day comes, I'm like, I feel miserable
Yeah,
today. And now I have to
literally.
back out. So now I feel bad about backing out.
I know.
Because I really wanted to see this person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just taking care of yourself
yeah.
first at the end
We're
of the
just
day.
human. We're
trying our
just trying,
best.
all of us. And
What's-
that I think, sorry, I was just going to
No,
say
you're
that
good.
just
You're good.
makes me also want to give grace to others when others cancel on me or when others are going through a lot and maybe haven't reached out to me. Like maybe it's a friend where I'm like, oh, I haven't heard from them in forever. Like we all, you know, we're all not just going to be like, hey, feeling this way today and like feeling this way this month. Like, you know, I think it just helps me to remember like a lot of my friends probably didn't know I was struggling as much as I was.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know they're struggling either. So I just think it just shows that we're all just trying, like we're all just, you know, doing the best we can. And yeah, just wanting to kind of see the good in it all too and give people grace. Sorry, I've said that so many times.
100%.
People
Grace Chapel.
Giving people grace chapel. I like what you said reminded me of what you said to us. I think one of the first times we started recording that I said in a post last week of like, we're all doing life for the first time.
Yeah.
We're all doing this for the first time. That has stuck with me and that hit me hard ever since you said that.
Yeah.
Like we are literally all doing this
Right.
once.
And I first heard it, it was about talking about parents. It's like we have this pressure. We think our parents are supposed to be perfect and like do everything right
Yeah.
and say the right thing. But it's like your parents are still just living life for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
They're in this new phase of life for a new time. Oh my gosh. new time. They're in this new, oh my gosh.
No.
Malfunction.
And again, round
Malfunction.
3.
They're in this new phase. This day has not happened for anybody besides right now. You know what I mean?
You got it. We know what you mean.
yes, we got you.
And it
We're
is
following.
putting it into perspective that we are all just living life for the first time.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are all just doing the best we can. Some people might be not as genuine and not
Yeah.
have as pure of intentions as
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
But we can't control those people.
Right.
So we can't be fearful of people reacting in that
Yeah.
way when, again, it's out of our control.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
We heard some of your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Do you have any non-negotiables? Either work or personal life. It could be both.
I know. I honestly, I should sit there and really think about it and actually.
Well,
put
I
them
just
into
did it
place.
last week because
Yeah.
how I was feeling. I was like, I need something, and I wrote them on little sticky notes and have them on my desk, and I just feel so happy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look back at them.
Yeah, well, one non-negotiable, I will not take a call after a certain time in the morning because I have issues with mornings. My IBS girlies will understand. So that's one. I'm like, I'm sorry that works with your schedule.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work with mine. So that is one.
Yep.
I also always will have my coffee and eat before I even open my laptop. Like
Good.
I'm
Yeah.
giving myself that fuel before I even dive in because if I
Yeah.
get in there, there's a good chance I'm going for
Yeah.
an hour or two before I'm like, oh, okay, now it's lunchtime. I missed breakfast. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, so that would be one. I'm trying to really get better about journaling. I got the journal. It's now, I had it on my desk.
You're there.
Yes.
Getting
there. Yeah.
Right. I have it on my desk. And I was like, my desk probably isn't the best place for this because when I'm at my desk, I'm supposed to be working and this
Yeah.
is not working. So I've now moved it.
Yeah.
I just don't know where to put it so that I actually do it. So right now it's
Yeah.
on my bedside table.
Have you always been like into journaling, or is this like new?
I
or-
always liked writing and just, again, just a way to get thoughts out of your head and just on paper. It's,
Yeah.
I used to do it more and I haven't done it much, but I'm trying to, practice what I preach. Like I'm given that advice. I got the same journal for my brother who is,
Aw.
he's working through some things right
Yeah.
now. So I was like, this is something that used to help me. Maybe it'll help him.
Awesome.
And it's
Yeah.
a prompted journal. So
Yeah.
it's like asking a question, then you
Yeah.
just write about it. So you don't have to just sit there and be like, what am I thinking of?
I think I need one of those because I
Yeah.
have been told so many times to journal, and I'm literally like, oh my gosh, anyone
what do I
could
journal
find
about?
this.
Yeah.
And am I going to write down every little detail I'm thinking, or should I just write little bullet points and be like, But yeah, I think it's something that I'm still like
Working
learning.
on.
Yeah, working
Yeah.
on because it can be a little daunting when you're just like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
We
empty
get
notebook.
overwhelmed very easily.
Yeah.
The three of us.
We do.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Us, really?
So it's hard.
Are you sure you're talking to the right people? Yes, you are.
I know. And then, but then it's like if you get to a point where you're overwhelmed and you just want to like relax, you're not actually relaxing
I know,
because your
right?
brain's going
Yeah,
24/7. So
exactly.
at least I know we're all the same. So I'm going to speak for all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No,
you know
it's
we're
true.
all feeling the same.
but so that's something it's not a non-negotiable at this point, but I'm trying to
Make it.
fit that into my
non-negotiable.
routine at a
Yeah.
time that actually works.
Yeah.
And then working out, I need to be better about. Zach and I will have really, really good weeks. We try to do
Yeah.
it together so we hold each other
Aw.
accountable.
Yeah.
We'll have really, really good weeks where we're working out, we're meal planning, we're sticking to it. And then we have a week where, and again, I think my mental health has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Like some weeks I'm on it and amazing and feel like, oh, this is like how I'm supposed to be living life. Like
Yeah,
this
right.
is how I should wake up every day feeling. And then there's other days where I wake up and I'm just like, this day,
I know.
I don't even want to start it. I just want to lay in bed all day long. Like
Yeah.
I my favorite saying is, I wish I was a dog.
I love that.
Like if I could just sleep and eat and like be pet and loved on all day, like I have those days where I'm like,
I know.
I need to be a dog
I
today.
know.
I need to
Like,
not
I
have
can't
any
be a human.
responsibility.
Yeah.
No one ask me for anything. No one
Yep.
need
Yeah.
anything. No, don't put pressure on myself. Just
Right.
gonna live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna be here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
still working on that.
Yeah.
What about you?
How much time do we have again? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, we actually probably should wrap this up.
I know.
We could
I
talk
know.
for hours.
We
but-
could.
Yeah.
We could. I think one thing that I have noticed, my non-negotiable for work is I stopped taking double headers.
Good.
It has made the largest difference. I think last year I still was doing some, but this year I have had no double headers. I think I might have had like one, but it was a little kind of shorter micro weddings where it's like, I can do that. That's no problem. But it's back to back 12-hour day. I stopped saying no to those, and I've noticed
You
just the
stopped saying
largest.
no.
Yeah.
Started saying no. Stop saying yes.
Yes.
Thank you. See, in my head, I didn't know that I said that.
That's why we're here.
Thank you. Thank you. But that has made the biggest difference, and I've really honestly kind of enjoyed that, as much as it is hard to say no
Yeah.
to that, because you're like, oh, this is so awesome. Great opportunity.
Especially,
great
if
people.
it's a wedding you really are like excited for too.
And
or-
I've had to do that. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, I've told myself I'm going to honor this to myself. I'm not going to do 2 in a row
Yeah.
because I know I'm going to get there, and I'm not going to be able to give one of those couples 100% because
Right.
I'm going to give 80 to one couple, and then I'm going to try and muster up another 80, 100%, but I'm drained, and that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
It's not fair to them. It's also not fair to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Putting your body through that.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
We slightly hit on the
Yeah.
post-wedding hangover. And
That-
it feels like an actual hangover,
Yeah.
honestly intensified though.
It's
Yeah.
off. Like, I feel like I have the flu.
Yeah.
And and that's also something I'm really trying to be more intentional about. My eating habits.
I was going to say
are
that will
not
help
that
you
good.
a lot because that's
Yeah.
helped
I
me.
know.
That's something there's one right there.
Yes.
Non-negotiable.
Yes.
I
Right.
I sit and eat lunch every single wedding day now.
Yeah.
Even if it's a go pace, like I still find the time to do that
Right.
because
Yeah.
it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
See, and I think that's where I also need to just work on my anxiety itself, because
Yeah.
this weekend
don't have
at
an
our
appetite.
wedding, I feel like I'm going
Yeah.
to throw up if I
Yeah.
try and take a bite, like going on the way to the wedding. It's not that I'm even really nervous. It's just my anxiety.
your body.
And I was trying to just eat some of like my whatever breakfast bar. I took like 2 bites and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I think I could throw up. And I'm like, I
You
hate
should
this
try,
because I
you
know
should
I
try
need
protein
this.
smoothies. I do that on the wedding day mornings because I don't have to actively chew and swallow. It's just drinking it.
See,
so that's something that
I
I
have
do
trouble
every
with
wedding
smoothies.
day. Dang it!
Because
Gosh.
it's knowing
We
that
need
that,
to
like,
get you an OT.
I know. I need
to
a
work
lot of
on your
different
feeding.
things. I know. I know. And that's what I'm trying to get better at. My eating habits. I'm trying to
You know,
get past. Yes.
I was gonna say, it's funny. The only thing that, like, when I'm anxious, because I used to, like, there was literally times where I was younger, and I would be so excited to eat, just like with my family, just a
Yep.
normal day, and then all of a sudden we get in there, and I'm like, I'm not hungry. My parents like, what are you
What?
talking about? Like, and I would just, and that's like where my anxiety stemmed from, was I was like terrified to like throw up in front of people.
Oh, we have a whole
or,
nother
we have a
episode that we
whole
have to get
episode
into
about
on this.
that.
Yeah.
But the one food that's really comforting to me is chicken strips. Like chicken tenders. I don't know what it is. If I'm like nervous about
nostalgic.
anything, that's
Episode I
what
could
I
talk
would
about.
eat.
Chicken
eat.
tenders? A whole
No,
episode on
well,
chicken tenders?
Don't
Yes.
give me a sandwich.
No, but like
don't give me a
food-
smoothie.
But eating
Chicken
habits
strips.
and why certain
Yeah.
foods are comfort foods and why we
Yeah.
gravitate towards certain things. And we could.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Sorry,
about this
it just
Table that.
reminded
No,
me
no,
of
no,
that.
sure.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yes.
I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
used to, like, I would get into a restaurant and I would not have an appetite because I would just be so aware of all
Yeah.
of my surroundings and not even like engaged in conversation.
Yeah.
This like literally for years of my
Yeah.
life. Like I would
Yeah.
have a panic attack and sit
Yeah.
in the car like when my family would be
Yeah.
in the restaurant. So we'll get
Yeah.
into that
I'm
on a
excited
whole
for that
episode
episode.
because
Ooh.
that's something that Dom and I really like when
That's-
I don't even know how we figured out we both
I
had the same
know.
phobia.
Yeah.
But when we figured it out,
Yeah.
I was like, you're one
I've
of us.
never met.
You
I've
feel this way
never
too?
met anyone else that's had
I
that
know.
same.
And it's
I
funny
know.
because
Which is
I've never
crazy.
known of anyone with that. So when you both
Yeah.
said it, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, 'cause
Yeah.
I don't have it, but I
Right.
didn't realize it's
It's a
thing.
real
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But anyways,
Yeah.
we'll save
Yeah.
that because that's
Table that.
another whole episode worthy of talking. So
Yeah. Okay. So going back into our second time doing this, for better or for worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Explaining that better this time.
Wait,
Because
yeah, will
last
you actually
time,
explain it this time
yes,
again?
last
Okay.
time I realized once we did it. So talking about things, at least how we're starting it, talking about things in the industry that we've noticed that are maybe becoming trends, are trends, what we think about them, a hot take, if you will.
Yeah.
But if we think that this new trend or old trend was brought up in the industry for better, or if we think it's for the worse.
Okay. Topic today.
I hope that made sense this time.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that did.
Okay. Yes.
Not picking between the
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
the trend itself.
Yes. Okay. So today, wedding dress shopping alone.
I have an opinion.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
I think I've thought about this because my sister and I have talked a lot about this. I think it's for better, and because I think you can always go back. Like, I think you can have the experience for yourself. You can make that experience whatever you want, whether it's you or one person or whoever else you want to go with you just for that one, or just by yourself. And then maybe you find it, and then you bring everyone back to try it on and show them.
The same exact thought. Like, I think for better too. 'Cause
Why
there's-
do you think that?
Because I think, first of all, just insecurities and maybe putting on a dress that you don't feel confident in, and then you're expected to just step out
Yeah.
for all of your friends and family who are there to just judge, essentially.
Honestly, it's so horrible when you think about it.
and it's harsh
Yeah.
lighting too at times. It is like I'm
It
like,
is.
you don't look like that. I don't know what those lights are doing.
I don't have my hair done. I don't have my makeup
Yeah.
done. It's not. Not getting the full effect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Which suggestion, I did this, and I always recommend this to my brides. Go to your makeup trial the day that you're trying on wedding dresses.
yeah.
So that way you can see, obviously,
That's cute,
you can do
yeah.
your hair too, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least your makeup, so
Yeah.
you can have a really good idea of what it'll be like on the day.
Yeah,
But,
that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just basically essentially stepping out and being like, what do you guys think of this dress on me, when
Yeah.
you might not even love it yourself. And
Yeah.
again, you're just opening it up for critique, and then you could take that and then
And you're
feel worse
swaying
about
your
yourself.
opinion.
Exactly. Exactly. So I love what you said. Go even by yourself, try them on for the first time so you can narrow down your top 2 to 3. Then go again with those close family and friends.
Sorry.
Let them
I'm really passionate about this.
let them see at that point.
Yes. And the reason I say that too, I'm sure Abby won't care, but we went to look for her dress, my sister, and it was just me and her best friend, also my very good friend Sarah.
We love Sarah's.
We love Sarah.
We do.
They run
just
the
can't
world.
escape them.
But she went just so she could get an idea of what she liked, with no intention that she was going to find the one at all. She was like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like. That's overwhelming in itself, that she's like, I just don't want to do that with everybody. And I know some people are like, I don't want to disappoint people and not find one.
Yeah.
And so, and she ended up finding it, which was awesome and great. And she wasn't expecting it, but then she rescheduled another time for everyone to come back and see her.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm having some thoughts about this.
Oh, I love it.
The first thought that kind of comes to my mind is I personally love shopping by myself. Clothes shopping, thrift shopping, decor shopping, whatever it is. I love it. I love just knowing that I have the entire day to just kind of, I don't know, focus on what I want to get. And so I actually love the idea. I've actually never heard of going by yourself. So I love the idea. So I would say for better.
Yeah.
But also, I'm trying to think, because I ended up getting married during COVID. And so there was only, I think, one place open at the time, which was Savvy Bridal. I could only have 3 people, which I think 3 is honestly plenty. Just my experience this year with some other girls. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a lot. Like, I think we all are the dress fittings that I went to, or dress try-ons that I went to this year, they were great, but I just do think the more people, the more opinions. And not necessarily that they're like bad or good. It's just everyone talking. And honestly, like I'm somebody that really kind of needs that time to take it in and look to see if myself, if I'm constantly talking or hearing everyone else, I'm just like, I don't know.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
And you know yourself better than
Yeah.
anyone. Someone might see you differently and
Yeah.
they like it, but
Yeah.
it's not what you like. But
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, do I not look good in this?
I
But you're like,
know.
but I love this.
especially, yeah, since literally the three what I'm having a hard time saying that. The 3 people that I've seen try on dresses this year have all gotten something different than what they thought they were going to get. So exactly back to your point of like, they had this expectation of like, oh my gosh, I know I want this glittery dress, or I know I want mermaid style or something, or strapless. And it was different than, each one of theirs was different than what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so I think that right there just shows that mine was different. I did not want strapless. That was like the one thing I was like, I'm not having strapless. I got strapless. I kind of regret it in a way just because I was pulling it up the entire time, but it still was a beautiful dress. But yeah, so I don't know. I think for better, I really like it. And I like how you guys were saying that you could just go try it on, see, and then go back with maybe a couple friends or family members and just try on.
Make a decision.
Yeah,
Say
make a
yes
decision.
at that
Yes,
point.
yes.
And again, going back to people pleasing,
Yeah,
who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for
Yeah.
yourself, or are you doing it for everyone else?
right.
Because yes, it's a special moment for everyone, but like at the end of the day, it's
You.
Yeah.
your first time
You.
doing it. It's you. So
Yeah.
are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for the people that
Yeah.
you're bringing with you?
Exactly. Yeah. I
love
like
it.
that.
I love it.
Good one, Sarah. That was a good pick.
That was good.
That
I
That was
loved it.
nice.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget, you can send us for
Yeah,
better or
if
for worse
you,
topics.
If you have a thought,
Yeah.
let us know.
Let us know.
We're
We have
up
an
for them.
inbox. We have DMs.
We do.
We got
We
all
check
the
'em all.
things. We
We
do.
check them all.
So to wrap things up, we received a really sweet text, Grace and I did, from a bride that we previously worked with who is now turned into a good friend of ours. And I just wanted to share it because it made us happy and it was so sweet and thoughtful.
Aw.
So she said, every wedding I go to, I become even more and more grateful that I had you both. You both are incredible. I always want you to know you're amazing. And then we were like, thanks. And then
That's all you needed to say.
she said, it just shows so evidently when your roles are lacking. And I'm just so forever thankful for you guys alleviating all of those stressors for me and making my day what it was. Just know you're more, you guys are appreciated more than you know by your brides and clients.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Especially after the fact, like,
I know.
Yeah.
and so she got married in almost coming up on a year last December,
I
and to
know.
know that she still thinks of us.
Yeah.
And
So
that
sweet.
previous, like, I mean, getting texts from friends and brides today with
Yeah.
the first episode coming out.
Yeah.
It's
so
just so like
nice.
validating.
Really-
Yeah.
special.
It has. It's just like, what? You remembered?
I know.
Like
I know we've been posting it
all-
everywhere,
it's
but
not
what?
for nothing. Like we're
Yeah.
we're this way and we
Yeah.
do the most,
Yeah.
but it's appreciated.
Yeah,
at
it
the end
is.
of the day.
Yeah.
So
I know.
yeah.
Love to receive.
Proud of us, guys.
Yes.
You gonna start crying?
Maybe
It's okay.
It's flow.
Tears are encouraged
It's
here.
flow
it's not
time.
me. It's Flo.
I'm never gonna get over that.
No, Flo's making it every episode.
Flo, she
Flo's
is.
she's with me right now.
Literally. And she's literally there.
No, literally. We are together. We are one.
We all start
Literally.
crying.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Real. It's real. This is us.
real.
This
This
is
is
us.
This is real. This is me.
Here we go.
I'm
Sorry.
exactly
Where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light shine on me.
Now I know.
Who I am. There's no way to hold it in. No more hiding who I wanna be. This is me. On that note,
That's a wrap.
thank you so much. Give the lady a mic. She's gotta
Give
sing
the
into
lady a
it.
Well, see you guys next week.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Love you guys.
Love
Love
you
you.
guys. Bye.
Bye.